Hello, viewers. Welcome to another episode of Serenity TV. I am your host, Goodness Shisub. How have you all been doing? How has your week been going? How has things been turning out for you all? I hope all it has been a ship shape. I just want to give a little shout out to all our listeners out there for what they've been doing for us and following us on our social media platforms and dropping comments when need be. Thank you very much. Now, in today's episode, we have a quite intriguing and so interesting topic that everyone can really agree with me on, and something that is really pondering on the minds of many youths currently. The topic is technology impact on learning and career growth. Technology impact on learning and career growth. In today's episode, we will explore how technology has come to stay, how people use it to gain more skills that have helped to change their world all around and help to grow them from one career growth to the other, learning digital skill that's puts much food on their table currently. Now, joining me to unpack and discuss this wonderful episode, I am joined with a wonderful personality in the studio, in the person of Miss Amarachi. Maya, very much welcome.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. And you?
I'm okay. So, Ma, how do you think technology has changed the way people learn in today's world, today environment?
I would say that technology has really taken learning to a very high level. Taking from my experience as a teacher, it makes learning much easier. In the first place, when you're using technology to teach, the learning, you bring everything out into it's no longer abstract. We go a higher way to make sure that the learning is very interactive. There are so many platforms that give the children age, unlike when it was just the chalkboard and the textbook. So if you ask me, I would say that technology really has impacted so much. It makes teaching and learning much more easier than it used to be.
Hmm. So, how has social media really helped in shaping this career paths differently?
I will give it a 50-50. Why am I giving it 50-50? In such a way that without being focused, the social media tends to take the learning away from the learner. Why do I say so? So many learners out there, why you are using most of the social media, take for instance the Facebook. A lot of ads will pop up now and then, and then you see somebody that is learning. Instead of focusing on the learning, you just go towards the ads that are coming up, and so many things are being given on the news feed. But I find that at the end of the day, what the person ought to learn, not what the person learned. Then the other way around, I also say that there's this thing about news feed that when the system have picked what you constantly study,
Yes.
it tends to bring more out for you.
Yes.
In other words, exploring, giving you a larger perspective to what you are learning. So it's actually on the management. It helps, but it depends on the learner and how you manages it all.
Okay, Ma, you personally a teacher, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so how do you think online teaching is more effective than a classroom teaching? You know, based on the advance of technology and things have really changed. But some parents now homeschool their child from a certain age to a certain age before they can even push them into the four corners of education. Or even teachers, we have cases whereby even after having a class in school, the parents still pay for online tutoring for these children. So, do you think it's more effective? Online tutoring is more effective than our regular formal education?
I wouldn't give the effectiveness to only online. I'll use the word hybrid.
Okay.
Partly online, partly offline. Because no matter how advanced technology is, it can't replace the role of a teacher.
Yeah.
I'm not saying because I am a teacher. Now, take for instance, there's not this thing about direct contact with your learners. As a teacher, while you are teaching, you are watching their facial expression. It's telling you something about them, whether they're following you or not.
Yeah.
You know when to go back.
Yeah.
You know when confusion is written on their faces. Now, if you're using only technology, I mean, how would you know all this? And most of the time, the cost of using only technology will actually make us to run over so many things. And at the end of the day, we will not like impact very well. So I wouldn't give it just to technology. I would rather use the word hybrid. Let there be partly technology and partly a role of offline, one-on-one, personal teaching.
Okay. But how do you think young people can use the advance of technology to grow their careers or grow themselves now?
Actually, they've started using it way before as you're talking.
But not much.
Um, I'll say more than you think. More than you think. The last survey we conducted, for the last 10 years, I'll say technology employs more than the government and other organizations put together.
Wow.
Most of these young people out there you see, you think they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Most of them are into remote job. Most of them are into survey. Most of them into review. So you find that they're using it way more than you think. Then in terms of teaching and learning, projects, there are so many sites that help them do so many things. In our library now, most of the books are outdated. So they go more into online library for their research. So to the youths, the youth, I'll put 40 down. They use more of technology to achieve so many things.
Okay.
So I'll give it to them. Technology is actually helping that age range because they're using it more.
Okay. So, Mark, personally, have you learned something new from all these social media platform? Let's say the YouTube, TikTok, and let's say a whole class. Taking a whole class from it. Have you learned something of these social media platforms?
Yeah, well, yes. As a matter of fact, I'm still a student in
Yes.
BYU Idaho. It's an American university.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I'm an online student. And most of the time, my tasks and the way they structure their system is not the way we do here.
Okay.
So most of the tasks, if I don't understand it, I go to the YouTube or any of the platform and take the lesson again in a detailed format. So I do use it. It's just like I said, the cost of using it is not pocket friendly to us here in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the reasons why we limit the usage. So but I do use it.
Okay, Ma, how do you think schools can make a better use of the technology, advancing technology currently? Not much schools are really, because a lot of schools, other schools outside the country, they have used technology in such a way that they don't use writing on the board anymore or the rest of them. Everything has gone digital. But how do you think schools in Nigeria can really advance to that stage, if that's possible?
Oh. The possibility, I don't know. But I think it's a dream. And some schools have keyed into, maybe not to the scale you're looking at,
Yeah.
but I know a lot of schools do use projector. And it's still a step where you prepare your lesson ahead of time and use projector and we're able to bring the visual and the audio together. I think we can start with this. And I can also remind you that during the time we have the COVID-19, most of the school we are forced to go digital. Zoom classes, online classes, and all the rest of them. So some that entered using the digital technology at that time actually continued. Okay, actually continued. And most of the school, like I said, depends on the teacher. Why the school might not even do it. Some teachers are going ahead to do it. So I think it's something that will be encouraged to start. No matter how late, so just start somewhere. Can start with just projector system, no problem. Portray your lessons and a projector. Let's start with something. Then we can make progress. If you remove the chalk and the board and the marker and the book, how many of the parents can afford to actually give their children smartphone, tablets, and laptop?
Yes.
So you now say that you can't just take it full at a time. So it has to be a step at a time. Okay, but we just have to start moving somewhere.
Okay. Ma, you said something earlier that use of nowadays has really gone far into the use of technology.
Sure.
Right? And now we have remote jobs and the rest popping out here and there, and people are making good money even without going to work. So, do you think that traditional jobs are now going to be sidelined with the advent of technology? And if that is the case, do you think that people who are not really into technology, people who don't really want to grow and learn about all these new things that are coming up, do you think that they will be left behind?
Sure, we have what we call structural unemployment.
Yeah.
It's going to affect some people. Those that were unemployed because of a digital breach. So it's going to affect some people, but then it is not every job that you can do remotely.
Hmm.
There are some jobs that still need somebody on the job. Most of the assumed remote job we are doing, somebody is still doing it on site. Somebody have to verify it on site.
Hmm.
So most of the job, yes, I might be the remote teacher, but there's still a teacher that is online. I verify what I send to that child.
Hmm.
So I don't think the remote job is going to take away the physical job. Not all of them anyway. It's going to take away some, but then it's not going to take away every of the job. But then some people are going to be affected anyway.
Hmm.
Yes, some people
Okay.
sure.
So, and with the access of internet almost everywhere, every day, people now have access to the internet, and especially the young people. Do you think that this leverage has makes them more smart or lazy? With not really, thinking for themselves and having everything in mind now. Now, do you think is making them lazy or kind of smarter?
I will not use the word lazy. Is making them digitally smarter or socially not.
Wow.
Because you see
Why?
that most of them, why they are cooped up in their mini room doing remote job, they are losing social skills.
All
They
right.
are losing
Yeah.
the normal human interaction. They are losing the touch on what it takes to actually be human. They are more into machines. So actually, digitally smarter, yes. Socially, no. No, no, no. It's not.
Okay, personally, how do you think the advance of technology? What do you have any fear that technology will really take away some things from people? As it goes on and on. Is there any phobia, fear that if things are not really checked in and curtailed, this thing will really overwhelm us? And if care is not taken, people will be left, so deep into technology.
And my fear is based on our tradition and cultural context. Okay, we are this extended in nature. Africans, we believe in our neighbor, we believe in ourselves.
Yeah.
So this is one aspect that technology is actually affecting mostly now. Okay, we believe in physical visitation, we believe in having relatives, but then technology is cutting off a lot of things. And if not checked, there will be a time that we'll lose who we are culturally. We'll lose our cultural touch. Okay, we become this everybody to themselves, which are not something we are. Okay, so I think that's the aspect. But then you don't stay isolated. The rest of the world is changing. You have to change with it.
Yeah.
But the only thing we're saying, if you're changing, change in your cultural context. Don't change all over. Let there be some part of you that remain as your identity. That's where I'm going. So it's going to take away some of our identity.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, now have you ever had the course of having, like you said, you have learned some, yeah, a student
Yes.
of a school, right, which is not based here in the country. So, but have you ever, checked the media to really change something concerning character wise, or and it really helped you, one way or the other? I don't know if you've really experienced
Actually, I said I'm a student, but I
Yeah.
didn't tell you what I'm studying.
that.
So I'm a family advocate.
Okay,
So
okay.
advocacy is my role and it's part of my project. And this is something you have to do every week. You organize a forum where you show that you're actually an advocate.
Okay.
So based on the way my own schooling is structured, this is something I do on a weekly basis. But apart from that, we still meet, we still talk. I'm also a counselor. So I think by the nature of who I am, I'm more into seeing people out.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
I am cannot be a yardstick. It's already part of me,
Yes.
and this is what I do every time.
All right. Okay. Okay, viewers. Let's quickly go on a short break. We'll be back shortly. Please don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. All right, viewers, welcome back from that very short break. I'm still in the studio with Miss Samara, and it has been a wonderful time in the studio with a lot to discuss concerning technology and the advent of technology, how things are changing, and how the world is really growing currently. If you are not really informed, you'll be left behind with the growth of things and the way technology has come to stay and way things have really been transformed in the world currently. Okay, ma. Now, where with the growth of technology and a lot of things, growing up here and there, do you think it's possible for someone to really build a full career without having a degree, without knowing anything? We just push it out there in the social media platform and the rest of it without having a degree, without even being educated.
How? Actually, I would say yes. And then you begin to wonder what actually is a degree. It's just a paper certification,
Wow.
right? And this degree of a thing is only being held so dearly here in our country. Out there, they're only interested in your skill.
Hmm.
Whether there's a certification or not, they're not interested. Okay, like the school I'm attending, let me use that one for instance. At every year, once you finish a set of academic goals, you get a certificate.
Wow.
I'm yet to be through with my degree, but I already have three certificates. They'll give you a set of instruction, you get it right, you get a certificate for it. So it's not like our usual way. Then, if you look at the social media, a lot of content creators,
Yeah.
people that know what they're doing. Okay, there are people that pass through trainings, and then at the end of the day, they were sent forth without a certificate. So people can actually do something with or without a degree.
Hmm.
Yes, people can, and they'll push it out.
Okay, ma. If you had to ask to change career switch, right? I want to pose these two questions then, right? If you had to do a career switch, which job will you do? Because it has you to, it has you every day facing the technical world, being out there, with the advent of technology, we would love to do this work because there's technology. And then which job do you think is really fading away?
A lot of content creators,
Yeah.
people that know what they're doing. Okay, there are people that pass through trainings, and then at the end of the day, they were sent forth without a certificate. So people can actually do something with or without a degree.
Hmm.
Yes, people can, and they'll push it out.
Okay, ma. If you had to ask to change career switch, right? I want to pose these two questions then, right? If you had to do a career switch, which job will you do? Because it has you to, it has you every day facing the technical world, being out there, with the advent of technology, we would love to do this work because there's technology. And then which job do you think is really fading away? Very soon it will not be around with the way things are going in the world of technology.
Well, I am trying to say, yeah, the job that really fade away. I don't think so. Rather, they will change. They will mutate.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you ask me what I would like to be a career switch, I would just say no.
Oh.
I like being a teacher. Once a teacher, always a teacher. It's all about passion. It's all about what I like doing. Okay, I enjoy someone being a teacher, imparting knowledge. So I don't see myself. Sweet, I don't have to be a traditional teacher.
Hmm.
I can be a modern teacher. There's so many ways you can still be and you be a teacher. So I might change the pattern of teaching, but I'll still remain a teacher.
Hmm.
That's what I would say.
Okay.
And I don't see the career fading out. You just mutate it, you change it.
Okay. Okay. So, Matt, in your opinion, right? What do you think about people who are more focused into any money online through all this content creation and the rest? What's your opinion about them?
At the end of the day, it's all about money. It's all about money. That's the root word I'll use.
Yeah.
But then it's because our country, we have not grown to the level where we seek satisfaction. So at the level we are, it's all about money. And since there are no way to sustain them, there is no other job to sustain them, they focused on money. If a content creator has other job that he's doing,
Yeah.
that is bringing money, he will sit down, create content. Some not necessarily for the money aspect, some because he enjoy doing it. But because most of them, that's all they earn from. So they just have to keep on doing it, whether they have passion for it or not. Because in our Nigerian context, that's the new way of getting money. So
Yeah.
they're doing it.
Okay, my personally to you, what do you think if you are in that position? What do you think? What's that one thing you will need to change in the way people mismanage the social media?
I would think about getting somehow we manage our a space, our social space. There should be some regulation.
Hmm.
There should be some quantity. Like somebody I was watching, if you watch our Nigerian content, it's all about trying to make us laugh. Just laugh.
Hmm.
But if you watch content from other nations, it's all about you learning something new. So most of our content here doesn't add anything to you. It even make a mess of what you've known already. So if you ask me, I would like, who manage it well? Why you are trying to make it fun? Impart knowledge through it. So we learn something at the end of the day.
Hmm.
Because we're spending money to watch it.
Okay. So, now, in your opinion, what do you think about people who rely solely on AI tools with the generation of AI tools and the
It
rest?
kills the brain.
Wow.
I'll tell you that it kills the brain. It makes the brain dormant. And the human system is what I say built in such a way that whatever you don't use often start diminishing on itself.
Okay.
So when you rely so much on AI to do things for you, you're not actually using your own brain. So it kills brain, it kills creativity. Why the AI is there? There's still another original AI, that is your brain. Make use of it, get assistance, get direction from the normal AI, but make use of what you have in your brain. That's what I would say.
Okay. But also, before we I think we'll almost be rounding off right now. So, what advice will you give to young people out there who are learning digital skills, to better off their life?
Okay, the advice of them, just learn the relevant one. Learn the one that is in vogue, not because of Nigerian context, because it's supposed to take you out there. And just like the word you use, learn, please learn it. Do not assume you know it and then you are making a mess of it. So I will encourage them. Learn. That's the new thing. Learn so that you don't get dropped behind.
All right, my people. It has been a wonderful time in the studio with Miss Amarachi. I hope you all have learned a lot in today's segment. Do as to drop your comments in the comment section, and what advice you also give to the young people out there who are really deep rooted into the use of AI and the rest of them. All right, from here, all of us in the studio, I remain your host, Goodness Chisholm. So, from next time, from here, us in the studio, please do have a wonderful day. Bye.